Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. Hope you're having a great summer right now. So today's going to be a bit of a different video. It was going to be a preview for the pre-season friendlies that are coming up, which start next week against Sheffield United at the Shea. Looking forward to that one. I'll be showing the first 4 games on this channel for the pre-season friendlies. So Sheffield United, Brighouse Town at their ground, St Giles's Road, I believe it's called. That's the road that it's on. Bradford City, and then of course Chesterfield. They're not going to be like regular matchday vlogs. They're not going to be like I do a little 15-second preview and then a song and then just show the match and etc etc. They're going to be a bit more fun, especially the Bradford City one. They're going to be a bit more about stuff, kind of chatting to people, because they're not competitive matches. It's not the regular league season. It's not a cup competition. They're just friendlies. So they're just going to be a bit more, friendly. So that's something that I did want to talk about that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. And then after that, I was going to do my season preview for the 2026-2027 season. That's really hard to say. I'll just say the 26-27 season like everyone else says. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing all of that in July. But today, I just thought I'd do a bit of a different video instead, because over the last couple of days, I've been looking more and more into the upcoming season. And I've been looking at the new manager and the new squad, and I did an update recently, did that a week or two ago, and we've had a few other things happen since then, new players and everything, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But I just want to start by saying that I've got to be honest, I'm not looking forward to next season. I'm really not looking forward to what's coming up next season. And I know in the last video I said that I was feeling a lot more positive. I still am. I was talking there about our new manager, John McGrath, and saying that, if he's a man of his word, if he can deliver what he's saying he wants to deliver, then it'll be a really good season. We're facing the top half. We might even finish in the playoffs. As I say, we've got some new signings. Mackenzie Maltby from Sheffield Wednesday, I believe. He looks really good. He plays in the exact position that I wanted us to get. I think he's a defender. That's what I was looking for, a new promising defender, and Maltby seems to fit that bill right now. I won't know until the next couple of games, next couple of pre-season games if he plays. And just yesterday we signed Connor Douglas from Leeds. He was on loan at Buxton last season with John McGrath. If John McGrath is anything like if he does what Adam Layton did last season, where he took a lot of players from his old club, Kings Lynn, the players that Adam got were very good last season. They were fantastic players for us. So if the same can happen with McGrath and Douglas, and if we get someone else, or maybe 2 or 3 other players from Buxton, then I'm really looking forward to that as well. Other than that, we've got all these other great players who right now look like they're staying for next season. Capello's obviously left. I didn't want him to leave, but he has left. Wish him all the best for the future, wherever he goes. The last I heard, he was going to Accrington Stanley. I'm not sure if he will or not. It's better than Morecambe. Yeah, we'll get onto all that eventually. But yeah, right now, I'm just not looking forward to the next season, despite everything that's going on the pitch, because there's just a dark cloud over the Shea at the moment, like a really pitch black, thunderstorm-like cloud. It's just not the overall attitude right now is the thing that's really putting me off next season. The attitude from the fans, what they've said about the future, what they said about our chairman, about the sale of the stadium, or the potential sale of the stadium if it ever happens. What they're saying about the long-term future, not just like next season, but like the rest of the 2020s and the 2030s. Just what the overall think's going to happen with Halifax Town in the future. I haven't felt this much hopelessness and depression amongst Halifax Town, and really myself, since I was about 14 years old. And if you don't know what happened when I was 14 years old, it was 2016 year I was 14, and that was the year we got relegated. And that was a heartbreaking end to that season. We had a horrible first half, but then we got Jim Harvey, he took over, and the second half of the season we just pushed and pushed. We tried to stop up. It looked like we were going to do it, the week before, we beat Forest Green Rovers, who were strong favourite to go up that season. They lost to play out to Grimsby Town that year. And then we drew Macclesfield Town. And I think it was, Guiseley won. I think Torquay might have been in the mix, although they might have just stocked up the week before. And they won and we didn't. And or did Guiseley beat Torquay, sorry. And we were relegated. And I haven't really felt as depressed since then. And just to give you an idea, 3 weeks after that, of course, we won the FA Trophy for the first time. And then the following season went up. And there was a lot of drama in that time. We had a managerial change in that season, in that summer as well. Jim Harvey left. He was already out the door by the time that Halifax had been relegated. But he left the club, or he was sacked by the club, 2 days after we won the FA Trophy, and he was replaced by Billy Heath. Billy was a good manager. He did really well at North Ferriby United. He did the job, he got us back up. It wasn't looking good at one time. We were 9th, or maybe even 11th. I think it was either 9th or 11th, I can't remember now. I'll just say 10th. It's in between. By January-ish. But there was still that belief in the squad that we could turn it round and get into the playoffs. And we got to the place where we went up. And we've been in the National League ever since. So, for all the drama that was going on, there was still a lot of belief, all the disappointment that we still managed to turn it round. And we stayed up the following season. We survived 2 relegation battles. And since then, we've been in the top half almost every season since. So, despite all the hopelessness that was around back then with the relegation and with the manager change, is this going to work? Is this going to pull off? At least there was that little bit of hope that got us across the line. I don't feel any hope right now. Apart from thinking it's going to be a decent season, I really do not feel any hope amongst the supporters. Most people that I speak to, they just seem to have given up. And I'm not going to point the finger at anyone. I'm not going to point the finger at our chairman, although we'll talk about him in a minute as well. I'm not really going to point the finger at Lakeland. It was his decision. And we could have a great season. He could have a great season. It was his choice at the end of the day. I'm not going to point the finger at Ken Davey. I'm not going to point the finger at Friends of O'Shea. I'm not going to point the finger at anyone. There's just a dark cloud right now, and it's not shifting. It doesn't look like it's going to be shifting for any time soon, and that's what's really making me depressed. And I never go into any season feeling this way. I always get nervous before the season starts. I always get really anxious. What if it's a disaster? It's all coming from that PTSD of 2016, really. Of, what if a season when I thought, we'll probably have a decent finish with Aspin. What if it ends with us getting relegated? I always think that. But that's just like the football fan inside me panicking. The logical part of me goes, it should be alright. It should be a decent season. And I always try and be positive. I never ever think we're going to go down. I worry, but I never think it. I never start season thinking, well, this year we're definitely going to go down. I never think that. What's the point of going to the Shea if I think we're going to go down and just monitor the internet every week? What's the point? You know what I mean? I never believe in the worst. I don't stick with the club because, I don't stick with them just to have a go at them and try and be the voice of reason. I stick with them because I believe in them. I believe in my club. I follow them through thick and thin. I know not every season is going to be perfect. I stick with them until the day comes. I stick with them until the season comes. But it's different this time. It really is. It's not that I'm thinking we're doomed. It's that this negativity is just really, really bringing me down. A lot of it right now is going to the chairman, as I say, Bosworth. And this is a really unpopular opinion. I'm probably the only Halifax Town fan that actually thinks this. So if you're just a neutral watching this, you probably, this is just my honest take, this is just my take on it. This is not what most Halifax Town fans believe in. But I actually believe that Bosworth is getting ready to leave. I know some people might laugh at that. I know some people might think, no, Jack, that's wishful thinking, whatever. It's not wishful thinking. I appreciate everything that Bosworth's done for us. I always have. I've been a bit critical in the last year or two. I've not understood a lot of his decisions, but I've always been thankful for Bosworth. I've always been very thankful because at the end of the day, we could take everything else away. We can't take away that he was the man who saved us, who brought us back to life, a new club practically for Halifax. You know, he's the man who brought that. I've always believed that for the most part his heart's in the right place. He might not do it the right way, but I do believe his heart is in the right place. I still believe that now. But I've just got this feeling that he knows in himself that he probably can't take us any further. And the reason I'm saying that is because recently we announced that the season tickets for next season are frozen. Bosworth has never lowered the prices like people want him to, and I really think he should, because it might get us better crowds, and obviously it'd be cheaper to watch games. But freezing the tickets, you know, it's kind of like, right, I can't raise many more because we might lose more fans, but at the same time we don't want to lose money, so we'll just do what we did last season. I think that's kind of a sign. Another sign is that he is kind of going like, let's have friendlies at Bashir, let's do this, let's do that. And that to me doesn't sound like a man who's trying to push for more. That sounds like a man who's going, look, I'm going to push it as much as I can, and then I'm going to give it to the next guy. Now that's probably just me being a bit, and you might think I'm deluded, that's just the way I'm seeing things right now. I think, as I say, his heart has always been in the right place in my opinion. So I think if he knows that he can't take us any further, then he's looking at how to leave and who could take over. I did recently wonder why he's never sold like half the club and maybe given it to someone who can help out. Maybe he's planning to do something like that, I don't know. You know, I do think he is a man on his way out. I don't think he's being pushed out. I think he's conscious of the fact that he knows that his days are numbered. So at the end of the day, I can't really have a go at him when, for all I know, he's probably thinking, yeah, it's time. I just wish he'd say. That is the only thing. Like, if by any chance he's watching this, I really just wish you'd tell us that, David. I really wish you'd do a Q&A like we did with Leighton last season. Don't get me wrong, you are going to be faced with some idiots. I saw that at the Q&A. I'm not going to give names. You're always going to get the negative person. Oh, well, I don't go to the show anymore because of you. You know, I'm not going to give money to a club that has no money. You know, people's going to say stuff like that because I've just heard people like that. You know, so let me get it straight. You're saving the club from not having any money by not giving them money. It's all logic like that. It just makes no sense. There is no logic. Unfortunately, if you did do something like that, yes, you would be faced with people like that, but you'd also be faced with people, a lot of people I know, who just want the best for the club, who want us to go that extra step, who want to believe we can take that extra step. I'm beyond trying to give belief myself. I've never understood why most of our fans don't push for more. A lot of them I know just seem to moan. They don't ever seem to push for more. And I just, like I've said many times, some of the clubs that I've seen have gone up. The one thing I've seen in all of them that we never have is belief. I say it a lot, but that is the truth. And right now, the lack of belief is at an all-time high for me. There's people saying, oh, we're going to lose the stadium, the team's going to go bust again, Bosworth's digging us into our next grave. No, I'm not looking forward to hearing things like that next season. And sometimes I worry if the results will impact that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we'll go on a bad run. Oh, well, that's it, then we're not going to do anything. Football fans nowadays are very fickle. 1 minute they love you, the next minute they call you the worst thing ever. And we're no exception to that. And then, kind of think about other things that I was talking about earlier, like the sale of a stadium. I'm not panicking, because it's not like the main thing for me. It's a behind the scenes thing, and a lot of people have mixed feelings on it. I just sort of wish it would get resolved. I just wished it would be, you know, put to bed, because I'm really getting sick of hearing about it. I've always said that there are options out there. It's just picking the right one. And right now, I don't know if we're going to find the right person. Doesn't help with the fact that we share the stadium with the rugby team, which is going through far worse than us at the moment. And then with Leighton going to Morecambe, I know what everyone's going to say, it's money. And as I say, it was his choice. It's, there's always different things that we could say about that. It doesn't matter what money you throw in someone's face. It doesn't matter what he thinks is a good opportunity, what he doesn't think is a good opportunity. It doesn't matter what the fans say. I will never understand why somebody could look at Morecambe and see that as a better opportunity than being with us. And the reason why is because I feel really sad for the Morecambe fans right now. I feel really upset for them because they're losing the club. There's no other way I can put it. We are losing the club, or they've lost a lot of what it was already. This is a club that I don't think they ever really got relegated. I don't think they've ever been relegated up till the last couple of years. They went all the way from non-league to League One. They were in League Two for many years, so to finally get to League One after all that, you'd think this is going to be like this bright new chapter for Morecambe. And then they got relegated three times in a row. And now they're in National League North. There's several wind-up petitions. Nobody trusts the owners. And again, a bit like what I said about McGrath, it's not really the manager that they're worried about. It's everything going on surrounds the club at the moment. And I'm not surprised, because they could very easily go bust in a similar way to how your Buries and your Farsley Celtics have gone bust in recent time. And it'd be really sad if it happens. And I really hope that the Morecambe fans can recover. I hope the club recovers at some point in the future. But I don't understand how you could see what they're going through as being a big opportunity than what we've got to offer. Because Morecambe is a dying club, and we're a club that's just right now kind of frozen, waiting for something big to happen. Something like what York's had, what Wrexham's had, what Chesterfield's had. And I don't understand, and I'll never understand, why some people think that, well, we're too small for that, we don't deserve that, why not? I say it every time, but right now, it's worse than ever. I spent a whole month repeating this stuff. I've repeated a lot of it over the years. But this time round, it's just like I'm sick. I'm tired of going around in circles. I'm tired of this cycle of misery every single year. It's Bottomless' fault. It's the manager's fault. It's the owner of the stadium's fault. It's the council's fault. It's the National League's fault. It's Halifax Town's fault. No, I just want to support a team that people believe in. They believe that whether it's next season or the following season or just sometime in the near future, we're going to do it. We're going to get promoted. We're going to win at Wembley again. We're going to do something completely against all the odds, and we're going to enjoy time in the Football League. We're going to join the likes of Rochdale and Oldham and York and Salford. I don't like being seen as the underdog, but I don't understand why no one dares believe. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. There's no belief in Halifax Town right now, and I'm someone who always wants to believe. I want to believe in the miracles. I want to believe we're going to do it. I want to have this confidence that at some point in the next year or two, we are going to be in the Football League. I want it. I've done a 50-minute video about it before, just wanting more, where just at my rawest said, I just want more for the club. And I really wish I could say, this is it, this is the time, it's going to happen now, it's going to be this season, this will be our year. Don't get me wrong, I look at the opposition sometimes and I think, well, who's there? Some people saying Carlisle, and I'm thinking, Carlisle may shock people. They might not be as good as what people are saying. Whereas if it was someone like Boreham Wood, who came so close last season to going up, if it was them who won it, the same way that Chesterfield won it, I can understand why they'd be seen as a threat, why they have the belief that they're going to do it. Or a Southend, you know, they've turned it round from having bad ownership, they've got big crowds, they've got a lot going for them. I can understand, you know, why those teams might be threats for teams like us, but like, they've got a lot to believe in. I just wish we had that belief. And I'm sick of just rambling on and doing videos like this. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever felt this depressed, and it's the first time I've ever felt this hopelessness going into a season, because I think about all the potential things that could happen. You know, we're in a relegation spot, so well, that was inevitable what happened last season. That's what they'd say. We'd be mid-table. Oh, mid-table, well, we're not going to do any better than that. Top half, oh, well, you know, well, we've overachieved. I hate that word, overachieved. I hate it. You know, I hate it. The playoffs, you know, we could be in the playoffs again and lose straight away, or we might win one or two matches. We might win the playoff final, but lose it there. Oh, well, we've blown it, that was our only chance. We might win it, but they'll say something like, oh, well, we're going to go down straight away. Just this endless cycle of negativity. And I'm just done. I'm done with it. I really am done with it. All I can say about what we've got is that we seem to have a good manager. We've definitely got promising players. We've definitely got potential behind the scenes that hasn't been recognised by the masses, but hopefully one day it will. And that's it. That's all I can really say. There are things that I do think are in the right direction. And I have beliefs that aren't popular, but I think maybe proven to be true, like David Bosworth might be leaving, and that could be the best news ever in terms of who we get to replace him. You know, it might be, he might pick someone who we look back and we forever thank for making Halifax Town into a proper EFL club, a club to be proud of, a club for the town to be proud of. Historically, it's just one of the best people to ever run our club. You know, anything could happen at any time, and who knows? You know, nobody knows what's going to happen next season. I can't predict next season. I can't predict anything. I can't predict who's going to win it. I can't predict how we're going to do. I can't predict who's going to go down, who we're going to be playing in another 12 months' time after this. I can't predict anything. I can't. But I can believe. And I just wish that others believed. I just wish that this negative cloud wasn't there. And I could be sat here going, okay guys, new season coming up, let's see what happens. You never know, this could be the one. But that's not there right now. I wish it was. I probably rambled too long now. I'm going to leave it there. But as I've already said at the start of this video, I will be back next week. I might do a quick preview for pre-season like I was going to do today. But I just want to let all of this stuff out. This cycle has to end. I don't want there to be a dark cloud over the Shay anymore. I want the stadium's future secured. I want the overall situation with the chairman to be feel a bit more positive, whatever he does. I want people to feel better about the squad. More than anything, I just want people to be positive. However fickle, and to be blunt, how negative certain people can be. Well, I like to believe that those people are in the minority. And sooner or later, they'll just be proven to be fools. And those who want a future, those who, like myself, are really depressed at the moment and just want to feel positive, and it's going to be a great season, and we're going to do so well, and we've got so much to look forward to in the future. You know, that's what I want. I'm going to end this video. This is a bit weird, but football clubs are football clubs. At the end of the day, they are businesses. They are clubs. They're not human beings. But for all of us, I'm going to end this video on a bit of a weird note. But right now, I just wish that somebody could just put the hand over the shoulders of people like myself, or even Bosworth, or any Halifax Town fan who just wants the best, and just says, chin up. The best is yet to come. You have no idea how great the next couple of years are going to be. I just wish someone could say that. and nothing else. That's a bit of a weird note to end it on. You get what I'm saying. Thank you all so much for watching yet again. I could be back doing a preview for the pre-season next week. If not, I will see you for a very special vlog about our first pre-season friendly at the Shea for quite a while against Chris Wilder's Sheffield United. Looking forward to seeing Chris back at the Shea, and looking forward to seeing what John McGrath is going to bring, or potentially going to bring, for the following season. So until next time guys, take care as always, and I'll see you in the next video.